Hello, and welcome to tonight's stream. I hope you guys are all having a great evening. Today we've got... Oh, can you guys hear me? Oh, there it is. My microphone wasn't showing up on my little thing for a second. And I don't like it when I talk for like 5 minutes and no one can hear me. But hi! Welcome to tonight's stream. We got Paradox Rift. Today is official release day. Also, my apologies to anybody that is coming from Instagram. I had the wrong time on my Instagram story about when I was streaming tonight. But I assumed it wouldn't be a huge problem, but I guess we'll see. I mean, I just said that it was at 10:30, but it's 9:30 right now. At least for me. And like, I don't know how many of you guys actually use Mountain Daylight Time too, so, you know, I figured it wouldn't be too big of an issue. Oh, my me real quick. Just gotta fix a couple of my nails that are like falling off, and I was like, I don't really want my nails to fall off in the middle of stream, so I'm not going to let them. That feels so much better. Alright, cool. Nails are fixed, now we're good to go. But yeah, I didn't know, I mean, I wanted to do a stream earlier this week, but it did not work out. My schedule has been something else, and it's just gonna keep getting more interesting. Like, I might actually fix my schedule. I'm not gonna call anything too soon. Don't want to get everybody's hopes up. But I might be fixing it, or at least improving it. Tonight, I'm shooting for midnight. That's when I want to go to bed. Because last night, I went to bed at like 6:30 a.m. So midnight is a pretty big jump from that. But I think I might be able to do it. So we'll see. We'll hope for the best. Yeah, that means I got like about 2 hours to stream. So, there we go. Hey, welcome, Nick. Hey, it's 8:30 in Vegas. Very fun. A little bit before me. So yeah, 9:30 in Utah. Just gonna hurry and make sure the PayPal, Venmo, CashApp are ready to go. So we're gonna hopefully open some Paradox Rift. Fortunately, I was able to get some at a decent price. So we have below MSRP. We got $4 a pack on just single packs. And then the booster box is $140. It's not a huge discount from the price per single pack, but it's something. And then I did finally go through everything on the board to make sure of what I actually have and what I don't actually have. So it should all be accurate now. Like I went through everything. So unless I just totally missed something, it should be good. I also kind of like reorganized my little you can see I've got like my little pack area up here, and then I've got like a bunch of stuff on the shelf over there. Plus some interesting board game that it's a board game about playing trading card games, which I'm really interested to try out, but I never really have time to play board games, especially ones that intricate. But one day I'm going to play a board game that's about playing trading card games. So that's going to be fun whenever I get around to it. It looks really pretty too. I like the art. But yeah, so the board should for once be accurate. I mean, I fixed it all on like Sunday or Monday. It's probably Monday. I don't know. I've had so much going on this week. It's all a blur. I remember that at some point Halloween happened, and yeah, it's been a week. I've been busy. You guys know how it is. 5 jobs keep me running around all over the place. But yeah, like I said, I'm trying to work on fixing my schedule. Crazy, right? After years of the most my schedule has just progressively gotten worse over the last 3.5 years. Let's see, I'm like, when did I start streaming? I started streaming in January 2021. And we're a couple months away from January 2024. So like 3 years. My sleep schedule's just progressively gotten worse over the last 3 years. I mean, I don't really know a ton about where it was before that. Though I used to be a really, really avid reader, and I would stay up really late reading books. But really, really late at that point was like 3 or 4 a.m. at the very latest. Now if I get to bed by 3 a.m., that's impressive. Yeah, no, I kid you not. My average time that I've gone to bed the last 2 weeks has been about 6:30 a.m. So that's why I'm trying to fix it. So, wish me luck. We're gonna see how that goes. I'm gonna plan out my schedule, which is very convenient because I now have a planner. I got this really cute little like weekly planner. It has been incredibly helpful, and I'm like, I'm just gonna, you know, take this thing to be as helpful as I can. So I just gotta like plan out my days and plan out when I can sleep, when I need to sleep, when I need to not be sleeping, when I need to, you know, whatever. So we're gonna try and see how that works. I'm hopeful that, you know, putting some planning into it will assist, but also it's just gonna take a lot of willpower. But fortunately, I have a pretty good amount of that for the most part with most things. Like candy. One day I was just like, I'm not going to eat candy anymore, and so I didn't. I completely have given up candy. The closest thing to candy that I eat is fruit snacks, but I only like the ones that are like 100% like fruit-based flavors or whatever, you know? AKA Welch's. I love Welch's fruit snacks. But even then, I've been eating more actual fruits than fruit snacks. Crazy, I know. I'm one of those people that used to like 10 packs of fruit snacks in the same day. That was a pretty reasonable amount, you know? I really like fruit snacks, but yeah, just gave up candy because one day I was like, nah. I mean, it's like partly because I was like, you know, every time I eat candy, like my stomach doesn't usually feel great afterwards. Probably because I just am really bad at like moderating things, because I don't know, my system of eating food is typically, I just know what times I should eat. And so I eat at those times so that I won't be hungry later, you know? But, where was I going with this? I was going somewhere, but then I got distracted thinking about something else. I've also been very distracted the last couple weeks. It's been bad. I'm supposed to be getting help to stay focused, and I have not been staying focused. I mean, I always struggle a little bit to stay focused and on topic, but I'm like legit working on doing things to help me stay more focused, and it's not really helping, it seems. I don't think it is. But yeah, I'm really good at getting distracted. Man, I wish I knew where I was going with that. What I need to eat. Oh, I remember moderation. And so like, I just kind of have like certain amounts of something that's always the amount that I'll eat, because I know that that's a reasonable amount and it won't be too much. But like with candy, it was usually just like some random, you know, like Sour Patch watermelons or Skittles or whatever, and you know, like I was like, I don't know how much of these to reasonably eat, and so usually I just like, you know, dump them in a bowl or something and like eat them while I'm working, and then all of a sudden they're all gone and I'm just like, wow, my stomach feels horrible. But so I was like, so that, not been a great experience. And then I also realized, I'm like, the only candy that I like to eat is fruit flavor. So why not just eat real fruit? So that's what I do. That's what I did. I started eating just real fruit. I mean, I already eat a ton of fruit. I really like fruit. I'm a very picky eater, and there are some fruits that I don't like. But just like in general, fruit, like, give me a bowl of like strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries, and I will be chilling. Like, I don't like blueberries, but most berries I like. It's really random that I don't like blueberries, because there's this one drink that I really like that's like blueberry pomegranate. I guess maybe just the pomegranate like overpowers the blueberry flavor, which is great because pomegranate, amazing. But man, those fruits are so messy to eat. In 6th grade, the school that I went to for elementary school, like every year they had like this wax museum, and it was kind of like centered on like Greek and Roman mythology, but basically every student would pick / be assigned like one of the gods or goddesses, or just like the other characters from mythology, or, you know, some of the like actual people that lived. But so I was Persephone, which for those of you that don't know, she was just chilling. She's like the goddess of spring or something like that, you know. Her mom is Demeter, goddess of, I think, like the harvest or something along those lines. But she's just chilling. Then I don't really know what went wrong in her life, but Hades was like, I'm a steal you, and she was like, really? And this whole ordeal happened, and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna marry you, and she was like, bruh, let me go home. And her mom was like, let me get her back. But Persephone made a mistake and ate a pomegranate. Because for some reason, eating food in the underworld made it so that she couldn't leave or something along those lines. But then Hades and Demeter, like, had some kind of, like, I don't know, they made some kind of deal. And they're like, okay, you get her for half the year, I get her for the other half. So, yeah, pomegranate. So I was Persephone. It was kind of fun. It was a really interesting story to share, like, for the actual, like, wax museum thing. So, you know, we each got the characters. We prepped for, like, a month or something. But we, like, did, like, costumes. We, like, drew backdrops. And then they would hang up the backdrops from, like, these schoolroom lights. And then the rest of the school just got to, like, one class at a time, like, walk through. And we all had to make, like, little buttons, like, little paper buttons or something. And when people would click them, then we would go through our, like, short, like, 20-second spiel about our character. It was pretty cool. It was cool. I liked it. But yeah, so obviously I had to get a pomegranate, and it was delicious and turned everything this nice purpley red, and it was, yeah, no, pomegranate, very messy, very delicious. It's like every time I think of eating a pomegranate, it's like if you took corn and, like, got all the kernels off of the husk, and then, you know, you, like, put them into, like, a little rubber ball, and just kind of, like, shook them up, and then poured in some, like, oh, what's that stuff called? Like, I don't know. I'm like, no, it's something that is similar to plaster of Paris. I know what I'm trying to talk about. I just don't know what it's called. But then, you know, you mix it up a little bit more, and then you slice it open, and you just have, like, a bunch of little kernels. Except that instead of corn kernels, it's just a bunch of these little teeny pomegranate kernel things. And they're very sweet, and they, like, kind of pop when you eat them, and they're delicious. So, but so messy, so messy. It is a mess to eat pomegranate, but I really want to eat a pomegranate now. I mean, this is like something every few weeks I think about pomegranates. Like, for some reason it just comes up. I don't know why. I just regularly, like, I mean, it's only like a couple times a month at max, like, you know, 1 to 2 times a month. But I just always, you know, randomly think about pomegranates, and I'm like, wow, I really want to eat one. But I guess I don't really do any grocery shopping. I guess sometimes I help other people grocery shop, but I don't really shop for any of my own groceries, because I am a not good adult and live in my parents' basement. No, it's not that I'm a not good adult, it's that this economy is unlivable. So yeah, but no, my mom does all the grocery shopping for us. All I have to do is, you know, tell her what needs to be on the list from, you know, what I can see, and that's about it. And usually I'm not thinking about pomegranates. Usually I'm thinking about, okay, what do I eat every single day? Nutter butters, very addicted to those. So those I have to have on hand. I've started really liking these, like, little, like, woven wheat things. I don't know, so some wheat-based cracker thing, but, like, they're, like, woven, and I don't know, really weird. Well, I guess it's not weird, it's just kind of like something that's definitely not for everyone, but I really like them, so I started eating those. Of course, I always have to make sure I have juice, especially my favorite juice, which is pineapple cranberry. That gotta have that. It's so good. It's so good. Then let's see. Those are kind of the main things. I usually start the day with, like, the woven wheats and nutter butters. And then usually it's like I just get caught up in a bunch of work stuff forever, and I usually don't really eat if I'm just working on stuff. But when I'm with fixing my schedule, I guess I might have to actually start planning time to, like, have regular meals after my, like, wake up morning meal, you know? I guess I gotta figure out what to do for that. But I have recently, like, tried to get, like, a little collection of different weird things so that I can just, like, grab them on my way out of the house or whatever. I mean, some of them are things that I've had forever, like pepperoni. For whatever reason, I really like pepperoni. So some days if I'm late for work and I can't find anything else that's, like, vibing, I just, like, grab a handful of pepperoni out of the bag in the fridge, and I'm like, this is a meal. I mean, I also have string cheese. I like that. Sugar snap peas. Sometimes have those. It's kind of funny. This one time I was like, this is just such an absurd, like, it's such just a silly thing. But there's one day, you know, I was running late and I had a whole bunch of things I needed to carry, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna get some sugar snap peas before I go. So I just take a handful of them, and I'm like, well, where do I put it? And so I just shoved them in the pocket of my pants and was like, this is fine. And so on my drive to work, I just, you know, ate sugar snap peas out of my pocket, and it was great. So lots of random stuff like that I just need stuff that's convenient for the most part. So if I can just grab a handful of it, if it's safe to shove in my pocket, or like, you know, it's a little baggy so I can just throw it in my purse or something. I guess I don't really have a purse anymore. I just have a backpack. And see, I used to have a little backpack that I used as a purse, and it was small enough that it was like normal to call it a purse, but now I just straight up have a backpack. Because now I'm fancy and I carry my planners and tons of other weird random stuff around with me. And my old purse backpack thing is not big enough for all my stuff, especially my planners, because I have 2 planners. Because I need 2 planners. One of them's basically just like a calendar in book form, but the other one's like my weekly planner. It's very helpful. I very much so appreciate having both, because, like, you know, the calendar one, it just gives me like a general outlook of, you know, each month, and then the weekly one for all the really weird random specific stuff and reminders of like things that I have to like ask people about, or things that I've been putting off for several months, because there definitely are some things since I got my planners around a month ago. And so far, there's been at least 2 or 3 things that I've put on the to-do every single week and still not done them. So, I need to actually do them. But usually I put them in the low priority section because they're not my main focus. They're just like things that I should probably do at some point. Sooner rather than later, but at some point, at least. So they're on there. They're just chilling, you know? I'm just hurrying, checking orders real quick. I don't think we've got any. Been pretty slow tonight. People are probably doing stuff because it's Friday. Which, speaking of me streaming on a Friday before like midnight, I know, it's insane. It is beyond insane. Kind of cool though. I'm like, I don't even know the last time I streamed like 9:30. That's early in general, but especially for a Friday. Usually I don't even get home till like 10:30 or 11 on Fridays. So, kind of cool. I've been productive this evening. Not the first half of the day. The first half of the day, I just got distracted a bunch. And then I spent forever picking out my outfit. But I really like my outfit, so at least that worked out. But then after that, I've been a little bit more productive. Hey, welcome, Laura. How are you? How are we doing this fine? Not quite super late at night yet. 'Cause it's not even 10 o'clock. That's so good for me. Yeah, I'm trying to go to bed by midnight tonight, which is wild because see, it's like at this point when I go to bed at like 6:30 a.m. I don't know if I should say when I went to bed this morning or when I went to bed last night, because 6:30 a.m.'s not night, but it feels weird to be like when I went to bed this morning. Which I guess would be like more reasonable if I was somebody that worked like night shifts. And I mean, technically I work at night a lot because most of my jobs are things that I just do from home whenever I want. But yeah, no, I don't work graves. I'm not forced to. I'm just blaming it on the insomnia, but that's what I've got. But I'm gonna try and somehow convince the insomnia to chill out and let me sleep, aka using a nice little sleep aid that my mom was like, this works good, and I was like, cool, and she was like, don't take it until you're getting into bed, and I'm like, cool. So hopefully that means that it will go well and that I will be able to get to sleep at like midnight, which is wild. It's like over 6 hours earlier than when I went to bed last time. I'm gonna say last time. I'm not gonna say this morning or last night. I'm just gonna say last time. That's the best I've got. You know, I was thinking though, I was like, what if I just like, my sleep schedule's already so screwed up. What if I just like, during each period of 12 hours, I just pick 3 hours out of that to like sleep, And then that'll give me a solid 6 hours total every day, but it won't be like something that super duper disrupts like my whole schedule. Because, you know, it's like if I do it like early evening or like whenever I'm done with like my regular stuff for the day, I can just sleep for like 3 hours, wake up at like, I don't know, like 2 a.m. or something like that, and then work for like, I don't know, like 6 more hours, and then go to bed again at 8 and sleep till like 11, you know? And then I would be awake during like most of the normal hours of the day. I'd be getting a consistent amount of sleep, which is also a multiple of 90 minutes, because sleep cycles are 90 minutes. And so, you know, if you can schedule to have like an exact like an even amount of hours that add up to, you know, fit that criteria, it's a lot easier to wake up. I can confirm, as somebody who uses that to my advantage regularly. The only problem is when it's like, wow, it's 6 a.m. I have to wake up at 10. That's 4 hours, which doesn't quite line up with the sleep thing, but I don't want to just settle for 3 hours of sleep, because I need that 4th hour, and so then it's just a mess, and I always wake up late, but, you know, it'd be like that sometimes. But yeah, so I don't know. I've got some weird options I could try, and then, you know, I'd be consistently getting 6 hours of sleep each day, which is better than I get a lot of the time. I don't actually remember for certain how many hours. No, I think I got 6 last night. This morning. Today. Because I slept from like 6:30 to like 12:30. So, yeah. Like 6 hours. Which is an even amount of sleep cycles. So it works out nicely. Alright, I'm gonna check orders again. Been pretty slow tonight. I think we'll give it 7-8 more minutes. If we're not seeing any orders, I'll probably just wrap up for the night. But we'll give it a little bit longer, just in case. I mean, with the whole putting the wrong time on Instagram, that might not have helped. But I don't know. I don't know if anybody actually pays any attention to the times that I put on there. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. Whatever the case, I guess we shall see. But yeah, so we'll give it a few more minutes, just in case. Otherwise, though, I have a lot of work to do. So much work. Oh, but which work to work on? I don't know. That's a great question. I'm like, well, one of the online stores that I run for an associate, I do need to add inventory for that, but I could also be adding inventory to my own TCG player. And then I also have work for the like media marketing business that I work for. So I'm like, I got a lot of options. I mean, of course, like stream related stuff too, but so far stream's been pretty slow. This has mostly just been an entertainment for myself kind of thing. You know, most people, when they want to relax, they want to watch somebody else, like watch a TV show or something. Sometimes I just want to sit in front of a camera and talk about all kinds of random stuff. I don't know, I like it. It just kind of vibes. It's honestly really funny looking back at me, like as a child. I was incredibly like shy and quiet, and like so much so to like growing up, there were multiple times that after like getting to know and becoming friends with somebody, this happened twice, and that's what makes it really weird. But they told me that when they first met me, they didn't think that I like they thought I was mute. They didn't know that I was able to talk because of how quiet I was. And this happened to me twice. Once in like mid-elementary school and once in junior high. Twice. Like that doesn't tell you something. I just the fact that 2 separate people have said that to me is baffling. It's wild. It's really weird. But yeah, so generally pretty quiet. Mostly just kept to myself. All I was really worried about was being the best at all of my school stuff, except for like one thing. You know, you gotta have at least one thing that you're not perfect at, because like, you know, you can't be too perfect. Then people start to get suspicious, and we don't need that. So, you know, there were a few things I wasn't great at. Like, it was kind of funny, like, when we were learning times tables, I think it was in, like, 3rd grade. And, you know, they would teach you to just memorize, be able to look at the two numbers and just have memorized what the, you know, answer is. And sure, there were some that, like, that was easy for me on, but what really worked for me is that we learned skip counting while, like, you know, learning the times tables. So I just got really good at skip counting in my head very fast so that I could still get my times tables done relatively quickly, even if, you know, I couldn't just look at the numbers and know exactly what the answer was. But like I said, like, there's some, like, 3 times 7, 21. And it just, because it just feels right. 8 times 8, 64, also just vibes for whatever reason. I don't know. But for the most part, I just got really good at skip counting. And it's honestly kind of funny because skip counting has actually come in handy a lot. Like, it's actually really funny to think about how much I skip count on, like, almost a daily basis. So I guess it's good that I use that to learn my times tables instead of just memorizing which ones, you know, were which number. Because, yeah, no, skip counting is so helpful, especially when I'm, like, going through stacks of cards and I just, like, need to, like, quickly count them and stuff. Like, skip counting is so nice. Or, like, you know, sometimes when I have to try to, like, divide things up or do whatever with like, work hours and things, because 2 of my jobs I have to keep track of my own hours for. I just have, like, little notes on my phone, but of course I have to, like, actually total up the hours and figure out how many I have. And so skip counting has actually been kind of helpful with that, especially when, you know, one of my bosses will be like, hey, like, around how many hours are you at? Like, because, you know, want to make sure that I'm doing enough but not too much. And so I can just kind of quickly, like, skip count estimate, and it's great. It's very convenient. But yeah, lots and lots of counting cards and stuff that it just comes, it's so helpful. So yeah, I really like skip counting, but never was great at the whole just memorizing, because that was what we were supposed to do. We were just supposed to memorize what the answers were. Instead, I just got really fast at skip counting. And, like, it's kind of cool because, like, you know, the times tables we learned, it was like 0 through 12. So the highest one was 12 times 12, which is 144, because I do remember that one. But, like, I'm like, having, like, the skills of, we use, like, little songs to memorize them, which for some reason just really stuck with me for whatever reason. The little skip counting songs, to this day, I still do in my head whenever I skip count, except for when I skip count with numbers that are higher than 12, or, like, half numbers. Like, sometimes I just have to skip count by 1.5s. One example of this would be when I'm figuring out how long I plan to sleep, when to set my alarms, because 1.5 hours, 90 minutes is a sleep cycle. So, like, you know, being able to count by 1.5's very helpful. And, like, it's not like it's a complicated skill. It's not something that I need to be, like, super proud of, but it really it has been so helpful. It's very convenient. So yeah, you know, skip counting. I'm good at that, but for some reason just remembering the answers I struggled with. But I still did fine on all my times tables tests, and I don't think my teachers had any idea that I was just skip counting my way through them. I mean, who knows? Maybe other people are skip counting their way through them too. I don't know. I just know that it worked out fine. But that story got incredibly off topic, as per usual. But yeah, I was talking about how quiet I was as a kid. Very shy and mostly just did my own thing. And I liked reading a lot. Like, I read a ton. Well, I didn't like reading for the first couple years of school, but by, like, 2nd or 3rd grade, I was a huge bookworm. It's kind of funny, like, for the first, like, couple years that I really started liking reading, my one stipulation was that I only wanted to read books about animals. Like, if it wasn't about animals, it was not worth my time. So I had tons of, like, just a lot of, like, stories about, you know, random animals. some of that. So I love National Geographic books. I maybe still have them somewhere. Got a bunch of those. I even have this really cool dinosaur book. It's just like this huge book that's just about dinosaurs. Like, has tons of like big illustrations in it and just information. I don't know where that went, but I love that thing. All the weird random dinosaur knowledge that I could ever want. I loved that. But yeah, so it had to be about animals. Like, there's this one time that I read this book that I thought it was about kittens because there were kittens on the front. There's 7 kittens on the front cover, and the title of the book included the number 7. So I was like, oh my gosh, it's about 7 kittens. Perfect. No. The kittens were mentioned on a singular page of this like 50-page book. I was beyond disappointed. Like, I held a grudge against that book for years because it wasn't actually about cats. But yeah, where I was going with that is, from being so shy and quiet, and now I'm like, I just tell stories about my life for fun, and I could just talk forever. I'm like, see, it's always awkward when I'm in like social situations, because I still am a little bit socially awkward and a little bit shy, but like in a really weird way. Like, I'm not afraid to interact with people. I'm just really awkward when I do most of the time. But, you know, my main problem, I guess, is like finding the right balance of conversation. But I guess, like, I've realized it really just depends on who you're talking to, because there are some people that I talk to that they don't really care that much about adding to the conversation. Like, they just want to listen to the random stuff I'm talking about. And that works great, because it's very easy, like, you know, they just try to continue the conversation, but they don't really have anything that they, like, want to say. And so I'm like, I can tell that they just want to listen to whatever I'm talking about for whatever reason. I mean, sometimes it's pretty interesting stuff. So I'm good at that. But then when I'm in a situation where, like, multiple people are wanting to talk and carry on a conversation, I'm just like, I don't want to interrupt anybody. I don't know how to get my my thing in here, but yeah, you know, at least when it comes to talking, I mean, I guess I have always liked public speaking, but which was still really funny. But it's like, now, I mean, I still love public speaking. Like, throw me in front of an audience and be like, yo, give a speech on this subject, I will be like, got it, done, happening right now. Like, I really like public speaking. I don't know if it's just like the ego boost of it, or if it's just the opportunity to be heard, you know? Whatever it is, I like public speaking quite a bit. So, yeah, I really love me some public speaking. I really want to do more public speaking. But for now, for the most part, I just talk here. But yeah, I guess, long story short, I'm really good at monologuing. Dialogue, however, not as great at that. I'm not good at balancing in any way. Like, athletics-wise, not great balance. Like, I can do a ton of push-ups, but asking me to do some kind of sport where I need to be, like, balanced, no. Not gonna work. But push-ups, actually, I don't know if I told you guys, but I believe it's, let me double check. Let me make sure that I have the right number. I need to try again. I was supposed to do that earlier this week, but I kept forgetting. Okay, current push-up high score, 36 consecutive push-ups. I cannot tell you how proud of myself I am for that. Like, that's 14 away from 50 push-ups, which, that's like my goal. I want to be able to get up to 50 consecutive push-ups, but just casually doing push-ups, you know? I mean, I carry a lot of heavy boxes around, so I'm like, obviously that's kind of like a little bit of a lifting exercise stuff, but yeah, no, I really like being able to do push-ups spontaneously. It's also, it's like I don't really go to parties, but I'm always like, this would be like a great, like, backup party trick, you know? I don't know, because some people find it really interesting when I'm like, oh yeah, I can do like 30 push-ups on a good day. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah. And usually they don't have me prove it, or like we're talking online, so it's like obviously they can't see, but I don't think I've ever gotten up to 30 like with somebody else in the room, but I have done a lot of push-ups. Like, it's funny, this one time, I don't know why push-ups came up, but like my grandma was in town, and so for some reason push-ups came up, and I was like, oh yeah, I can do like 20 something push-ups, and she's like, no. I'm like, I will show you. So I got down on the rug and started doing push-ups, and she was like, oh, okay. She was so surprised, because she was like, I was assuming you meant like, you know, like on the knees push-ups, or like not the full 90-degree angles, but no, I did my nice push-ups, and she was very impressed, and I carry that with me. Like, it's great. It's good stuff. Alright guys, I'm gonna check orders one last time, but I think we're probably good to wrap it up. I'm like, maybe I should wait till 10:30 though, because that's when I did say the stream was supposed to start. And I'm gonna feel bad, you know? People like show up at 10:30 like, hey, what happened? And I'll just be like, whoopsies. Kinda awkward. But then again, like I said, I don't know that Fridays is really the best night to stream. It just happened to be the one night this week that I had free to stream, which is super duper random, but you know, it's something. Hopefully, I keep going back and forth. I cannot make up my mind because my schedule cannot stabilize. But either in the following months I'm probably just going to continue doing one stream a week or every other week, or I'm suddenly going to start doing like 3 a week. I don't know which is going to be. It's a surprise for everyone, including myself. I don't know. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to find out, I guess. Other than for the part where, you know, I have no idea what my schedule is going to do. But like I said, I am working on fixing my schedule. So we will hope that that works. And I guess if I hit stream now, that would be good. Because that'd give me like 2 whole hours to, or closer to an hour and a half to work and get ready for bed. Which is a realistic amount of time for me to get ready for bed, because I always get distracted. Like, it's I legitimately have to schedule time during my day to get distracted, because I know I will get distracted. Like, this is like legit, like my morning routine. I have it very carefully like laid out. I know right when I need to do things, and I always allow like a little bit more time than I know that thing should take, because I know I'm gonna get distracted at some point. So it's this whole system, but yeah, I just always accept that I'm going to be distracted at some point from whatever I'm trying to accomplish. Especially at nighttime when I'm like trying to get ready for bed, I get so distracted by stuff, because sometimes I'll randomly be like, no, I need to finish that work thing tonight, and so, you know, I'll go and do that work thing. Or sometimes I just like zone out and I don't even know, accomplish absolutely nothing, like just scroll through like Instagram reels, or sometimes I'll just pick at my lip. I have really bad like eczema and skin issues, so I don't know. I pick at my lip way too much. Don't recommend. It's not fun. But yeah, so not really anything productive when I get super distracted like that. So it's not ideal, but I just accept that it's part of my life. Like I said, I am trying to work on it. It's one of the things I'm like, I am ready to like brave this new trail into this like self-improvement era. And I mean, obviously I always, no matter where I am in life, want to work on becoming better, but I'm really ready to like actually change my life. Like, you know, I'm ready to actually do things that are gonna make not only me learn and grow, but like actually change the way I live. So hopefully that goes well. Hopefully I can use that as some of my motivation and guidance for working on getting distracted a little bit less, and of course sleeping at a better time. Ooh, it's gonna be so amazing if I can get my sleep schedule fixed. I'm like I said, I'm shooting for midnight tonight, which is like 6.5 hours earlier than I went to bed last time. So it's a pretty big jump, but I'm like, midnight is a lot more reasonable than 6 a.m. It just is. And it's still a bit later than most people would go to sleep, but it's like I can work with it, because even if I want to get 9 hours of sleep, if I go to bed at midnight, I'd be able to wake up at 9 a.m. Like, that is not something that happens. I typically wake up between 11 a.m. and like 2 p.m. So 9 a.m. would be wild. I mean, like, occasionally about the earliest I would say I could wake up is like 10:15. But 9? No. But if I start going to bed earlier, maybe. So we're gonna hope for the best. We're gonna see how that goes. That's you know, just one of my many plans for self-improvement. I just want to fix my whole schedule, but in order to fix my schedule, I've just come to terms with the fact that fixing my sleep schedule is paramount. Like, if I don't do that, it's not gonna work. So yeah, gotta work on that. Gotta work on a lot of stuff with my different jobs. But you know, hopefully long term I become a billionaire because of my self-improvement. That's the goal. That's the plan. That's the best case scenario. I mean, I guess best case scenario maybe like a trillionaire, but because who knows, you know? I have a pretty decent work ethic, meaning I am a workaholic that collects jobs for fun. I really like having tons of jobs. I'm like, somebody asked me relatively recently, they're like, would you ever like just consider like quitting your extra jobs and just focusing on one job? And I'm like, well, it would depend. If that one job had enough different aspects of it to feel like different jobs, to give me different things to do, absolutely. But if it's just one job doing the exact same thing over and over and over again, no, I would hate it. I'd be miserable. I'd want to quit so fast. So like, aka long story short, I like entrepreneurship. It's a good place for me. I haven't, you know, started any official businesses yet. Because I know that I should probably, you know, put some planning in before just suddenly opening a business. But I do have plans and things. But for the time being, I just get to keep collecting jobs. Still looking for job number 6. Don't tell my friends and family that I'm looking for a 6th job. Unless, you know, one of them has a job that they need me to do. You know? Alright, well you guys, I think it's time to wrap up for tonight. Went a little bit longer than I was supposed to. No orders, probably because people actually do stuff on Friday nights. I know, that's crazy. I just work on Friday nights. At least I have in the past. I might be changing that. You know, this whole changing stuff thing. It's fun. Kind of. But yeah, I hope you guys are all having a great Friday night. I will try to stream again in less than a week, but no promises. Also, it's my birthday next week. That's crazy, huh? So that's exciting. I can't afford a sword though, so I'm gonna have to figure that out in the next few days. I got 4 days. I got 4 days to figure out how I'm gonna get a sword. So, wish me luck. I think that is all for tonight. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.